Hello and welcome to a courtside tennis review of the Wilson Pro Staff X. I really like what Wilson has done with the color scheme of their current rackets. They've got this whole chameleon or color shift paint thing going on, and they've applied it, I think initially to the blade and then the Ultra and now the Pro Staff. It's really interesting to see the Pro Staff in a cosmetic like this. It's so different than anything else. So I don't have the racket on hand right now, but I had plenty of time with it. I have playtest footage of me hitting with it. And just check it out. If you guys haven't seen this racket in person, just go ahead and take a look sometime. But yeah, just look at this beautiful copper color with these rainbow undertones underneath. I really like it. It's a very cool cosmetic. So besides the cosmetics, what makes the Pro Staff X interesting or unique? Well, it is actually the first 100 square inch racket in the Pro Staff lineup to ever come out. And that was something I got really excited about because ever since I was aware of the Pro Staff, it was always a 97. And before that, it was even smaller. And this is a racket that has been in the Wilson family for such a long time. The Pro Staff has been alongside a lot of legends in the game, all the way from Sampras to Federer. You can almost trace the evolution of the Pro Staff and see the evolution of tennis. So it's really interesting to get to a point where the Pro Staff is now offering a 100 square inch head size. One thing I found really interesting about the way that this racket played was actually how easy it felt to use for how stable it was. That was a really cool feature of this racket. I thought on paper it would be a little bit harder to swing. This is going to be one of those rackets where it's like strictly intermediate or advanced. But I actually feel like the racket is more accessible to a wider range of players than I initially thought. Compared to the regular Pro Staff, you get a slightly more open string pattern. Obviously, the head size is a little bit bigger, and I do feel like you get slightly easier access to power. I also feel like a lot of the differences between the 97 and 100 are actually pretty subtle, which is cool. If you just want to take the 97 and push it in the direction of something with slightly easier access to power, slightly more stability, it's hard to go wrong with the Pro Staff X. And within the Pro Staff 97 lineup, they always had something like the Pro Staff Lite, the Ultra Lite, the Autograph, the Standard. So within the spectrum of 97s that they offered, they now have a 100, which is really cool because if you're looking for something a little bit different that is a Pro Staff, maybe you're not stuck in that category of getting a 97-inch racket and you can move over to 100. So it just opens up the potential for finding a racket you like even more in the Pro Staff lineup. All in all, it's a really solid frame. I feel like whatever you want to put into this racket is what you will get from the racket. I wouldn't call this racket a spin monster, but it is very good at generating spin. It's a very stable racket on the backhand and the forehand. I always felt very confident when I made good contact with the ball that it was going to go where I wanted and do what I wanted it to do. Volleys, it's also very solid at the net. And it's still maneuverable. It's not some unmanageable weight or unmanageable swing weight. So if you guys are looking for a stable all-around racket, or if you guys find yourself loyal to the Pro Staff family of Wilson rackets, but you want something that's a little bit different, but still very much a Pro Staff, you guys should give the Wilson Pro Staff X a try. I was pleasantly surprised by how much stability I got from the racket despite how easy it was to use. Now, I'm not saying it's the easiest racket to use necessarily, but for how stable it was surprisingly easy to use. And I do think that this racket is more accessible to a wider range of level of players than you might think just by looking at the specs on paper. Be sure to go to courtsidetennis.com where you can get free shipping on orders over $50. You can find this very racket there, as well as others. And if you're ever in the Sacramento area, be sure to check out one of the 2 locations in Gold River or Arden. There's a large selection of rackets to demo and purchase, and there's even a very accommodating section of the store for pickleball players. So if you're ever in the area, be sure to swing by. Alright, thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to check out my content, you can see my channel at Time for Tennis right here on YouTube, and I will see you guys in a future video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.